right, Jimmy. Don't look at me that way. You want to do this? You want to have a little stare off? No. Okay, he's giving me sass. All right, let's do this. Jimmy Toontron. I can't believe he straight up looked me in the eyes and went, Ugh. All right, shut up. I'm going insane. So it's been like a month and a half since I've done a Jimmy Toontron episode because there was a lot that I was doing in between there. And I think because of the fact that, ooh, nice backpack. And I think it's because of the fact that like I was trying to wait to do the Toonie the Tiger episode, and that took like a month of waiting just to be able to do that. So Jimmy was being put on hold because it was Toonie's turn, and now that Toonie's over, it's Jimmy's turn. But also Jimmy's gonna have to wait for a minute because of the fact that I now have to take another trip, and I don't know when I'll be able to edit Jimmy. So Jimmy's trying his best, I swear. Also, Jimmy got to fish real quick, so Jimmy's gonna fish while I go, hey guys, thank you for watching Jimmy Toontron. Thank you for clicking on the video. Leave a like. You don't even know what I talk about in this video yet, but I hope you enjoy it. So if I tell you to leave a like now, I'm more likely to get some of you guys to leave a like, as opposed to when I wait until the end of the video where a lot of you click off because the video's too long and your mom says it's time to get to school. Also, it's August. Who's starting school in August? Did I even do my intro? Hold on. How's it going, everybody? It's your pal Mega Snoop bringing you another Jimmy Toontron TTCC Let's Play. Why are people already in school? So I looked into it because I was curious, and the Clark County School District, which is the one Las Vegas resides in, starts school on August 7th. Why? Here's your bar of soap, yada yada yada. The reason I was curious is because my new schedule has me streaming at 9 a.m. until like 4 p.m. That means if I want to go outside and do stuff before it gets too hot, I have to do it like really early in the morning. Which way is Barnacle Boatyard? I'm getting lost. This way, here we go. So I'd wake up at 7 a.m. and I'd get all my stuff together and I'd walk over to the park and I would start shooting baskets at the park. However, for some reason, even though it was summer, everybody else had the same idea, where by 7:30 there would be like an entire 5v5 basketball game going on at the park for some reason. And you see, when I was a kid, 7 a.m. was sleep time during summer. I woke up early 3/4 of the year to go to school. Why am I gonna wake up early in the summer to play basketball? Nah, man, it's summertime. I'm sleeping in until 11. I also need double talkers and glad hand. Let's see what I can find. Here we go. So right now I'm being the old man who's like shaking the stick, being like, when are these darn kids gonna go back to school? Because I want to be on my basketball court again. So I decided to look it up, and it turns out the answer to that is August 7th. And I'm just shocked at the fact that anyone is going back to school as early as August 7th. Now, I know by looking at the demographics that a lot of the people who watch this channel are between the ages of like 16 and 26. So some of you are still going back to school, some of you are not, and some of you lied about your age because you have to be 13 to make a YouTube channel. But at least in your experience, because I'd assume at least all of you have been to school once, unless either you were homeschooled your entire life or you're a baby. Please don't watch me if you're a baby. I say some weird things. You all have had some sort of experience at school, so I'm very curious, when did your school used to start? Leave a comment down in the comment section. I want to compare these. For me, being from Portland, Oregon, our school system always started in September. It was always the day after Labor Day, right? Labor Day, the one you don't wear white after Labor Day. I wore white after Labor Day all the time. I don't know what that was about. I did not get the drop. I hate this. This game dumb. Okay, this game isn't dumb. I'm sorry, game. You know, I'm actually going to try Toontown Central again. Maybe that's why I was there in the first place. Double talker's a little bit more common there. But my school was always September through mid-June. And so now some people are hearing that being all like, man, you had school until June? That's crazy, dude. We were out by like the beginning of May, which makes sense because you all start in August for some reason. Bro, you can't start school in August. It's still summer in August. It's still 100 degrees out. And there's a double talker all the way at the end of the street. He was hiding from me. Look at this dude. So I don't know why I spent the first portion of the episode talking about like school, because I'm sure for a lot of you that's the last thing you want to hear right now. But I'm in like my late 20s. Let's say that, late 20s. I haven't had to deal with school in a long time, so I'm very blessed for that. Trust me, it gets better once you're out of school, guys. It's so much better. There's such a stigma to like, you don't want to grow up too fast. Grow up enough to get out of school and then stay a kid at heart, you know? That's what I've done. That's why I have an office that's just filled with video game posters and Toontown and energy drinks and a PlayStation 5, man. This is exactly what I dreamed of when I was a kid. Unironically, this is actually what I dreamed of as a kid. When I was a kid, I had my friends, I'm gonna throw out some names, Mikey, Eric, and Andrew, right? And all of us had this dream when we were like 10 that we were gonna grow up and have like a house together and like just play video games all day. And then they all grew up to be other things in their own right. But then see, I did grow up to have a house with my friends and play video games, which is super ironic. How did I pull that one off? Even if you have an oddball dream like growing up to have a house with your friends where all you guys do is play video games, maybe that's not all we do here because yeah, some of us work actual jobs, have to make an income, pay the bills, of course. For the most part, yeah, whenever we spend time together, we're playing video games and then we're ordering pizza. I literally put like a little video on Instagram the other day where me and my friends were sitting on the couch. I was watching my friend play Elden Ring for the first time and he was actually better than I expected him to be, but still, it's Elden Ring, so of course everybody died immediately. He went over a little ridge and he found one of those signs that said dragon ahead and he said, huh? And then a dragon swooped in and he went, huh? It was kind of awesome, actually. So if anything, I'm just saying, don't think that your dreams are impossible or unlikely because the whole world is changing all around us. And what might have been thought of as impossible or unlikely before, I gotta level up, may be more possible now. Also, Jimmy got new gag training. What are we doing with the training point? You're right, nothing, because you have one. I'm looking at it and I don't know if it's worth having prestige lure for right now. So you know what? We're gonna unprestige lure and we're gonna unlock sound. Huge. Good job, Jimmy. Jimmy's a sound boy. Jimmy better get ready for Toontown Rewritten. He's picking up sound. But truthfully, you need sound in this game, at least early on, because things like the factory and the mints rely still so heavily on sound that it's good just to pick it up. That's probably good enough. Save. Looks good. All right, let's go, Jimmy. I didn't even look. What's he supposed to do now? I think I'd have all of these tasks memorized considering I've speedran this playground a million times. But oopsie, I just don't. But speaking of sound, let's have a discussion real quick. One that I want to leave open and as well you guys can leave comments for because I'm curious to hear your guys' side to this. I'm going to make an entire video about this at some point, but I'm not going to be here for like a week in just a few days. So either I have to make it really fast or it's gonna have to wait. But since this is Toontown Corporate Clash, it seems only appropriate that we talk about Toontown Corporate Clash. And Toontown Corporate Clash came out with a new update. We're in version 1.4 now, and version 1.4, to say the least, is definitely an interesting version. They've had some changes done with the game. Just as an overview, for instance, unites can be picked up from any boss now, and the CFO now has something called counterfeits where basically you can just duplicate a whole gag instead of getting a gag up unite. Also, gag up unites are just gone. All of that I don't really have a problem with, and it makes some fights harder, but also some fights not nearly as bad because you can start using them in earlier fights. But the qualms and the controversy all seem to be within the managers. Now, let me state that some of the manager changes I love. I think the bell ringer change is amazing and funny. I want to do a bell ringer now, as opposed to before where I was dreading doing a bell ringer because it just seemed annoying. The new fight for Granny, God, what's her name? The new fight for Mouthpiece is actually pretty good too, where you can't hit her at all and she has like this cookie barrier around her where you do damage to her by doing damage to the other cogs that are around her. They made a change to the Gatekeeper, which I think was a lot of fun as well. It's basically funny number go up. What's not fun about funny number go up? And then Firestarter, a lot of people were like, I don't know about that one, but then I gave it an honest shot and I did it a few times and I went, wait, there's a good strategy to here and it's kind of fun. So all of these walking around on the street managers I think are terrific and they're great the way they are now. But then we have the ones that you need to finish all the kudos tasks to do. And this is where some people are split. For instance, Witch Hunter got a little bit more difficult, which was already kind of a difficult battle. And even so, I didn't even think Witch Hunter was difficult. I just kind of thought it was tedious, and now it's even more tedious. So regardless of how you feel about difficulty, it was already kind of not fun, and now in my opinion, it's even more not fun. The multi-slacker fight had some good changes and then not good changes, which kind of makes it from still one of the less desirable fights to still remaining one of the less desirable fights. And then we have Dave. Now, I haven't been silent about the fact that I haven't cared too much about the new Dave fight. Prior to the update, I was grinding out Major Player to try to get all of the drops. I still need the Rose, which is considered a legendary drop, so it's like a 1 to 2% drop rate. And I was having fun doing it over and over and over and over and over again. I was actually worried because I was asking my Twitch chat, like, hey, do you guys actually like watching me do Dave over and over and over again? Because, like, I'm having fun, but it is the same thing over and over again. And they reassured me. They're like, no, this is good. I'm glad you're having fun. That's awesome. And then the update happened, and I was really excited to see what changes they made for Dave, and then I was not excited anymore. I honestly do try to keep an open mind for a lot of these changes, but when you take something that already has a set gimmick or two, and then you add 2 more gimmicks, Dave now has like too many things to keep up with. You already had the dance partners, you already had the Hollywoods that would have extra health and deal extra damage, and yes, people did the fight enough times where they've kind of figured it out and had a meta strategy for it. That's going to happen in every fight that you make. You can't just keep changing fights once people figure out a meta for it, because then you're just gonna have to change it again. Let people have a meta, all right? It's okay to have a meta. But I digress. My biggest issue is that it just doesn't fit. It's not that it's impossible. Let's get this correct. I was able to complete it, but for the general progression through the game, it just is too much to keep up with, and it's too complicated for where it's at, in my opinion. I went ahead on Twitter and asked some people about their opinions as well. I got a lot of people who were on my side about it, being all like, hey, I feel the same way. It's really complicated. It's not fun anymore. And then I had some people on the other side that really love the challenge. Some people absolutely love when it's more complex and there's something new to figure out. But again, my basis for the argument just has to be with the fact that it's not in the same progression-wise as it should be. I think it was absolutely fine the way it was, and if they were going to change it, they should have changed it with a lateral step rather than trying to make it more difficult. Instead of adding more things to make it harder, they should have just changed the things that were already there so that you had to learn something different instead of continuously learning and adding and piling on more. But that seems to be where a lot of the controversy is, because I could be dead wrong. Maybe people will like it more, and that's okay. I just want to be here and share my opinion and my thoughts and see what you guys think. If you haven't seen the fight yet, you should check it out somewhere. Maybe I'll even highlight it and put it on my archives channel, which is actually a good use of the archives channel. Dang, why did I not think about that? I'm gonna do that after I'm done recording here. But other than that, I'm a big fan of everything else that was put into the update. If they don't change Major Player, I might just not go for the Rose, because the bottom line is I don't have fun with it. The whole point of a video game is to have fun, and if you're not having fun with it, don't play it. I have fun with other things. I've been having a ball doing Firestarter. I'm gonna make a video about that too if I haven't already. Thank you, Big Bud. I love you. You're so beautiful. I have to go to Lighthouse Lane specifically. Darn. So we'll see in like a week or two if any changes come about, and if there's enough community backlash, or if the Flash devs just went, this is the change. Cope, which like I am actually okay with. If they don't want to make changes, if this is their vision for the game, great, they can have that vision for the game. I just simply won't do the things in the game that I don't have fun with. That's it, simple as that, and you can too. Just fishing, I'm singing a fishing song. I already got the binnacle. We're gonna get one more fish though, and back to Buccaneer Boulevard. Why am I still singing? Now that I got all of that Toontown news for the amused out of the way, besides the TTR blog post that literally says news for the amused, and all it was a reiteration of something that we already knew because it was already stated 2 months ago, and it very conveniently came out the same day as Corporate Clash's update. We got story time now, so let me tell you some stories. You guys like stories, don't you? Let me tell you about what happened the other day, because I was caught off guard. I was already up here in my pajamas getting ready to go to bed. Actually, I was on that couch over there watching TV, but that's what I usually do, is I sit on that couch and I watch like an episode of Animaniacs before I go to bed. Recently it's been Animaniacs. Sometimes it's Futurama, sometimes it's something else. And while I'm sitting there, my phone starts buzzing and I think that's odd, so I pick up and I go, well, yeah, what's going on? It's 11:30 and it's my friend Josh from downstairs, and he goes, can you help me? And I go, with what? He's like, I need to get up. And I was like, get up? Well, where are you down at? The bathroom. So I go, okay, and I go all the way downstairs. I see the downstairs bathroom light on, and he's lying on the ground. And I'm trying to figure out what happened, asking him what's going on. It turns out he was drinking a little bit. He had some of his whiskey, and then he had some of his 99 proof vodka, and mixing those two together, plus one of them being 99 proof, probably wasn't the best idea. Also, sound missed. I hate sound. I'm refunding sound. Please hit, please hit, please hit. Oh, thank goodness. But he's sitting there laying on the ground in the bathroom. I'm like, what happened? And he goes, I threw up in the toilet. And I turn to my left and I see vomit in the sink. And I ask him, you mean the sink? And he goes, no, the toilet. And I go, well, it looks like you also threw up in the sink. And he goes, no, I didn't. And I'm looking at it and I see like chunks of hot dog. And I'm all like, yes, you did. And he's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, I can see it. And he's like, oh, did I? So he was laying in the bathroom floor and I was like, I need to get you up. And he's like, no, I have to throw up. And I was like, okay, then throw up. And he's like, no. And I was like, okay. And it was already 11:30 at night. And I was like trying to kind of encourage him to get up and go to bed. And also, Jimmy's gonna die. Jimmy, don't die. Don't do it, dude. Also, I totally forgot about winded. Are you no longer winded? Are you good? Training sound sucks, man. But I've had experience with people who were like asleep on the bathroom floor before. This isn't my first rodeo. There was a while ago when I was together with my ex and I completely forgot about this story until this happened and I went, wait, this isn't the first time I've seen this. Maybe we were playing Mario Party or something, but she got so drunk that she ended up going into the bathroom to throw up and then she just like laid on the bathroom floor. And like I checked on her and I was like, you good? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, you want to come to bed? And she's like, no. And I was like, do you want to sleep on the bathroom floor? And she goes, yeah. And I don't know what it is about being drunk, but when you're drunk, the bathroom floor is like the most comfortable spot in the world. So with Josh, if it wasn't for a couple of factors, I would have been absolutely happy to just let him take a nap on the bathroom floor and just sleep there till morning when he wakes up and goes, my head, because obviously he's sleeping on the bathroom floor. The only problem is that he shares that bathroom with somebody and that somebody wakes up at like 5 a.m. to shower and go to work. And so unfortunately, I couldn't just leave him on the bathroom floor. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't. So between being in the bathroom and trying to figure out if he's okay and him ensuring that he was, and I'm like, hey, let's get you up. He's like, no, I still have to throw up. So I leave him there. I would then also go over to the living room, which is just a few steps away. And I'd play on the Xbox that we have in the living room. And I'd be playing like Call of Duty. And I'd be like, Josh, you good? And he'd go, ugh. And I'd be like, all right, let me know when you're ready to get up. And I was doing that for like half an hour until a point where he just did not respond to me. Also, I have like a million tasks to turn in. Let's go, Jimmy. So I set down the controller and I walked into the bathroom and lo and behold, he just fell asleep in the bathroom. And then trying to wake up that guy is impossible because he's huge. And so I was like, all right, come on, Josh. We got to get you up. We got to get you to bed. And he's like, I still have to throw up. I'm like, dude, you fell asleep. He's like, but I have to throw up. And so after literally an hour and a half, from 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m., I finally get him to kind of shimmy his way up, walk him over. He splats down on the couch and then just like nearly falls asleep instantly. And that, kids, is why you never mix your lights and your darks when you're drinking. Also, kids, don't drink. I used to think it was fun and funny when I was in my early 20s, and then I got to my late 20s, and all it does is give me a dry mouth, and then I wake up several times in the middle of the night, and it's not fun. So I'll take something small to sip on, but I'm not gonna do that where I'm all like, I wonder if I can finish half the bottle. It's just not me anymore. I'm getting too old for this. Yo, speaking of Call of Duty though, I actually have a really funny story about that too. Now hold on, I know I just said the words Call of Duty and you're probably like, because Call of Duty and Toontown literally fall on two ends of the spectrum when it comes to gaming. On this end, we have cute little animals who use funny attack gags on robots. And on the end, we have and bigotry and sexism and homophobia. There's a lot of that in Call of Duty. But before I was even a Toontown streamer, I did a whole lot of Call of Duty videos on YouTube for several years and was even part of community channels like COD Shot of the Day. And so I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. With it being several years later now, Microsoft buying out Activision restored a lot of the old Call of Duty servers for people to go back and enjoy. So there was a lot of people on these old Call of Duty games. And so Josh runs by GameStop, gets a few of them used for the Xbox, which has backwards compatibility, and we plop down on the couch and we're like, ooh, I can't wait to play these games again for the first time in 10 years. And honestly, they still hold up. They're still pretty solid games. But what got me, the funniest part of all of it, was the class names. First of all, a lot of them were so cringy because I was just a cringy dude. And then some of them were just random. Like there was one of them that I put like Bugs Bunny has really bad breath. But the one that got me, which absolutely jump scared me when I opened it, is we got on Black Ops 2, and the class names were legitimately I'm Not Too Old to Play Toontown. And I thought that was so good I had to share it on Twitter. Sorry, x.com. But going back to those old games and being able to experience what it was like to actually have a Call of Duty that people universally liked was kind of crazy. I need level 4s. Where's the level 4? 2, 2, 2, 2. 5. Bro, I feel like I'm putting in a password or something. There's no level 4s. There's only 3s, 2s, and 5s. That's crazy. 5 EXE. Nope. Maybe there's an invasion. Ooh, flunkies. Ooh. Get some extra gag training in before the end of the episode. But yeah, the old Call of Duties were fun for like 3 days, and then we realized that they were old and we've played them before. And you know, sometimes new stuff is fun too, guys. Of course, there's new Call of Duty coming out this year as well, which I'm surprised they haven't like made an announcement for. I will probably get it because I'm a schmuck. And I will probably play it because I'm a bigger schmuck. But I got a couple more little things and then we'll end off the episode. Jimmy here gets some quick gag training done because that's actually what his tasks are. His tasks are beautiful right now. Just cogs. So I talked a little bit in the Toonie the Tiger episode, and I try not to like cross over topics because I want this to be able to feel coherent if you were to watch it in a playlist and then suddenly I'm referencing a video you haven't watched. But just know that I referenced this in a Toonie the Tiger episode. There are these covers for the PS5 that you can get that will have a fun little design on them, and I would say they look really good, but most of them are just single color ones. And so at least the ones that I was looking at that I wanted were the Spider-Man ones, which were sold out in an instant. I don't even know if they ever came back in stock. If I check right now, I don't know what I'll find. All the other covers are already like 50 bucks. I don't want to spend 50 bucks on that. And the Spider-Man ones are, and I quote, currently unavailable. The controller's in stock, but it's $80. So what I decided to do instead, which is a lot cheaper and a little bit more personal as well, is that every standard PlayStation 5 just comes with plain white covers. And let's not get ran into by the deep diver. Hello. And with them being plain white covers, what's better than a plain white canvas? So I have the idea of getting some stencils and some spray paint, which is not $80. Good level up, Jimmy. Proud of you. And I was just going to stencil over it and spray paint it, and I definitely had some ideas for that. So my idea is to take the covers, spray paint them black completely, and then get these stencils that I found on Amazon, one of them being a Harley Quinn stencil that I can spray red on top of it, and then one of them being a Joker stencil that I can spray green on top of it, and have this nice like Harley Quinn Joker black PlayStation 5 console, which I think would be really cool. So that's my plan currently. I just need to be able to buy all of those things, which I think as a grand total is only like 30 bucks, because spray paint's cheap. Did you know that? No wonder all these kids are graffitiing everywhere. Better go buy some extra and start posting like Toontown play for free on the side of every billboard. I'm not going to do that. If the cops are listening, I'm not going to do that. But if I do end up doing the PlayStation thing, I'll be sure to take some pictures and show it off so you guys can see. I would do something funny and Toontown themed, but also like I don't know how many Toontown stencils there are. I'm gonna Google this real quick, because ideally you want something that you can just like have a cutout for and spray paint. And the problem is if I'm gonna make like a Toontown one, it would have to be like custom made, and I am not that talented. Come on, Jimmy, get better lure. Gosh darn it. So now that I say this out loud, I'm hoping that means I'm more likely to actually do it. Fingers crossed. But otherwise, the last one thing I kind of want to get into before the end of the episode is the fact that I still have speedrunning in my heart. And although I haven't been doing too many Toontown speedruns lately, I have been doing speedruns of this other game called Koa and the Five Pirates of Mara. And I'm not the best at it, but also I haven't seen anyone else speedrunning it. I'm definitely not though, because I've seen little clips and snippets of people doing individual levels, and they're like way better than I am, but I'm having fun with it. And so between doing that one and doing co-op speedruns with my friend Josh on Cuphead, I've been thoroughly enjoying speedrunning again, so you might be seeing more of that from me. My goals have still been like Toontown for the first part of my stream and then something extra for the end, except for lately where it's just been full Toontown because there's been a lot to do on Toontown. But I would say keep that in mind and keep an eye out for that if you're kind of a speedrun type of guy or girl. I ain't judging. They, them, non-binary. Unfortunately for Koa, the leaderboards aren't still up though, so I have no idea where I rank or how good anyone else is. I haven't really seen anyone else speedrunning it, but I want to play it more because I feel like I could be pretty good at it and maybe have like a goal to shoot for going to like a GDQ or some other speed running showcase, right? That would be kind of cool. GDQ is kind of hard to get into, but if we get good enough at it, maybe. I know we've tried to get Toontown into GDQ before, but because of how RNG dependent and how it's so dependent on live servers, it's been really hard to like push that. But it'd be really cool to have some sort of representation from the Toontown community. Honestly, in my heart, if I did that speed run on the GDQ stage, I'd probably introduce myself as, hey everybody, my name is Mega Snoop and I play Toontown. But today I'm playing this instead. Also, I got like a million things to turn in, so I gotta go turn in all of these tasks real quick and then we'll end the episode. Sound good, Jimmy? Jimmy's ignoring me again. Also, I love how the club tasks show the cogs VP anywhere, and it's blacked out because I've obviously never seen that in this tune. But the damage with the cogs CFO is not blacked out, which tells me that Jimmy's seen the CFO somewhere. Jimmy, where have you seen the CFO? All right, talk to Banker Bob, talk to this guy, talk to that guy. Ugh. We're gonna speed run through this right now. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Dang it, Jimmy. That's time loss. And time. Good job, Jimmy. You did it. Yeah. Now Jimmy has world record for running between two very specific tasks. I don't know. Come next time, he's got to purchase a gag, do a cog building, and fight 2 cogs in Barnacle Boatyard. Jimmy, you have your tasks set in front of you. You know where you want to be in life, and he's ready to go. So that's going to be it for Jimmy Toontron episode. Shoot! What episode is it? I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Leave those comments down in the comment section below. I love reading them. I love replying to them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay awesome. God bless. And peace. See ya.